So this is some of my artwork I'm gonna record as I'm letting you guys know about this dream of my nephew. Before he died, he had this dream that there was he didn't know what to call it. He just saw people going up in the sky and their whole bodies disappearing. And as they went up into the clouds, he said it was like something took their soul that was in the clouds and threw the bodies back down. And I just couldn't help but to think, you guys, that reminds me of like what Revelation says in the Bible of how even the most elite would, be deceived. And and the regular people deceived as well. And how the people go up reminds me of the rapture, how everybody thinks they're going to go up and see Jesus. And it's just so crazy because, like, the clouds remind me, of the AI Atlas or whatever they say is coming at the end of the month here in October. And my nephew warned, how the people went up in the clouds and their dead bodies came back and they just hit the ground. Just tons of dead bodies hitting the ground at once. And how literally they were, they were alive thinking they were going somewhere. But they didn't read their Bible. Because if they would have read their Bible, they would have realized the Antichrist comes first to deceive in any way they can. And I guess some of these people think, well, hey, these are our ancestors. These people that come back in the spaceships. And as you can tell, I painted a spaceship up there next to the 3 pyramids and inside the angel's wings, which looks like it's basically the Ark of the Covenant. But anyway, there's been time travel before time ever began. There's something called the Book of Enoch, and the fallen literally fell through a hole that landed them here to earth. And they like to say the porthole of that. And one of those portholes are in Antarctica. And the time travel porthole is one of those things that where the angels fell, they left a hole in space and time. They used to be able to get back to it from God, up and back and forth, as it would say in the Bible. Job was taunted. When you read Job, as Lucifer went back up in there and it would talk to God about Job. So, yeah, there used to be a way back and forth to heaven back in the day before Jesus Christ was born and shut it off and broke time itself in half, BC and AD. Before Christ and after deity of Christ. So, yes, that's how that works. But nonetheless, just wanted to mention that, how my nephew's dream of those people going up in the clouds and thinking, they saw lights in the clouds, and that was, God coming back to him, or who they thought was God. There's false lights, What do you think Lucifer was? He was a cherub that tried to guard the seat of Jesus and got jealous and took over it. Much people don't know about his true origin and that he was supposed to guard the seat. People like to think of cherubim as small and cute. Well, do you think of Lucifer as small and cute? They were war angels back in the day. Yes. And unfortunately, took a third of mankind. Well, at the end, he takes a third of mankind, which the followers of him. And for those of you who don't know what happens when the third of mankind starts to disappear, it means the river of Euphrates is dried up. The angels have came forth. They have spread forth their light on the earth. My painting of Egypt that I did. Anyway, things start to happen, and basically, tested and tried. When you read your Bible, Revelation 6 comes before 7. 7 is the number of Christ. He comes later on. He comes back later, after the testing and trying of the Antichrist and the ones who call themselves Jesus and stand in the desolation of abomination in the holy place, which is the temple that is to be built in Jerusalem. You'll see that first before he even returns. And he opens up the eastern gate, which I hear is slowly cracking, as well as the river of Euphrates is drying up. And for those of you who are all sad in your beer and thinking, God hasn't got nothing good for you, well, let me tell you, those of you that love God, actually love him and believe in the richness of God, just look at this painting of Egypt that I did. See? The greenery on one side and the desert on the other, of what the land used to look like and flourish and green and beautiful, and now it's all dry and desert, right? Well, those of you who can't look into the future or the past and see that you're a multidimensional creature unto God, and that he covers all facets of time, and there is no time, and he breaks itself in half with Jesus Christ coming in through. And the whole thing of the wicked in the end of time is to show the glory and the power of God. And he's here to blow you away with his glory, and how he defeats the Leviathan, and how he feeds the Leviathan through the righteous. Right? Oh. Just know that Jesus doesn't come back to save you first. Those who love him will be tested and tried. And what did Christ say to the prophets? Those who love me, die for my sake. For those who love the world, will die with the world. But those who love God shall never die, but have everlasting life. The power of God, the power of Yeshua, comes back through heaven, space, time, universes. And you guys think that there's a bunch of outer space out there. There's a certain amount of planets and alignments that God made, but there's the firmament, which is the oceans upon oceans. You guys think there's, other worlds and planets. It's not quite made like that. It's like a petri dish, and a whole universe inside one little petri dish, and then an ocean thrown on top, and then another ocean thrown underneath. As the scientists have already discovered, the oceans underneath are bigger than this world could ever be. The oceans on top are the way nobody can quite get to that moon in the way they want to be. There's water above this world and even into the outer space realms. So that's where ships come in that have already been made here on Earth. Been making spaceships, you guys, for quite some time. I don't know why people would think that these spaceships are... These aren't from outer space. Your own government's been making them for a long time, and God knows, literally. If you read your Bible, everything seems to arrive in a ship of some sort, and God creates a new heaven and a new earth. So look forward to those days, and the angels that arrive from the river of Euphrates will kill a third of mankind. And the third of mankind, you will reap the benefits, the ones that love God and who follow Jesus Christ. You will reap the benefits, you will reap the rewards. And it says God will lay the riches of the wicked at your feet, the ones that follow him in this world you call men. So I suggest get right with God now.